trades. I mean, it's 2 trades.
Well, I liked him.
Yeah. I mean, it's describe.
Yeah, no, we had 3 goals coming in here. We wanted to get bigger. We wanted to add to our depth in the front court, and then also get some scoring punch out in the front court. So those were our 3 goals, and we feel like we accomplished those.
What do each one of those guys bring individually?
Before I answer that question, I do want to take the time to thank the guys that we had. You know, Sean Adams was a professional, didn't get a lot of opportunities, but he was always ready. And then the other 2, Seth Curry, like, you know, he chose to be here because he was a free agent. And so I think that's important to acknowledge him. Again, another professional. He was great for us. And Grant Williams, another free agent that chose to be here. So I think it's important to thank him for his contributions to the team. So now, what was your question?
In terms of what those guys bring individually.
Yeah, I think if you look at, you know, PJ, I think the biggest thing about him is he can score. I mean, I think a couple weeks ago he might have had 40 points or something like that. You know, he can
43.
Thank you. He can get hot. He can shoot. He can create. So it's just versatility, but also rim protection. You know, he can block shots, and he's big. He can play 4 and 5. So I think that's the thing that he's going to bring to us. When you look at Gafford, you know, big time rim protection, adding depth to our front court. I can just, you know, imagine him and Luka and kind of pick and roll and what that's going to bring.
With a player like BJ, when you're trying to assess him, when you're viewing him, is he a Mavericks fit? This season, some of his stats are down from where they have been: 3-point shooting, you know, block rate. Is how much, when you're trying to assess him, do you see that as being circumstantial, and how do you see him adapting or improving, you know, next to Luka?
Yeah, great question. Well, I think, you know, when you have really good guards, you get really good shots, and it makes it a lot easier. So I think you just try to envision like what their skill sets are, what they do, and then you imagine them. Hey, you're playing with one of the best guard, the best guard in the league. What are your shots going to look like now? You know, you're going to have more space, more time, and so I think that's going to be an advantage to them.
Will those guys be ready for the game against Oklahoma City?
We're hoping so, but you know, a lot of it will depend on physicals for both teams.
When you look at those guys in terms of like being puzzle pieces of the rest of the team, it looks like it gives Jason more versatility in terms of the different types of lineups.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You know, when you say add depth, that's really, it's versatility. You know, and you know, the other thing, we've been injured a lot this year. So when you talk about adding depth, it's like when you're injured now, it's like, okay, well we can go. We still have some guys that can go and pick up the pieces and not worry about, oh, he's injured, we got to rush him back. It's like we have more depth now, so we feel like we can match up with anybody.
Mid-January or so, you guys are 7 over 500, sitting pretty good despite the injuries. How much did the losing of the last couple of weeks contribute to this, or do you think you guys would have done
But I think what we added was what we needed anyways. So I don't think it just, you know, adding depth, getting bigger. I think that's always going to help you. Having a guy that can score, that's always going to help you in any year. So I think regardless of if we were winning more or not, I think we would have tried to accomplish the same thing. We know our team, so we knew what we needed.
How important is it that these are both players 24, 25 who fit, you know, the age timeline of a lot of, you know, the current players?
Yeah, absolutely, great question. You know, for us, I'm always thinking long term and short term. So you got to make sure that you're prepared for now, but also the future. And I think they both provide that.
Is there a chance you guys are not done in terms of the buyout market?
Well, you guys know me. I've been here, what, 2.5 years?
Yeah, we know
you can answer that question.
We know you.
If there's a chance to make our team better, we're going to do that for sure. There's no doubt about it.